700 тысяч, что появляются, пропадают? Или это они коробки такие продают за 700 к еще? Прячется, пока не люблю.
Противника подметь.
Да кто там так бегал или что? Устал после физкультуры.
They are focused. That is your team to watch out for. Mandelbrick Addiction, focused, ready. The game getting started, and folks, if you weren't paying attention, let me call your attention back to the screen. It is all Space City all day for Group B. Space City until this tournament. This match is over. Game 4, 5, and 6, all gonna be Space City, and all have a Mandelbrick. No more airdrop rounds, all Mandelbrick. It is time to head to Space City here, Taylor.
Let's do it! Space City, a chance for Mandelbrick Addiction to have one of the most stellar performances. We've already called them the most improved team. That narrative is going to stand. There's no reason to take that away from them. But can they pull off the hat trick? Go from barely making it through the qualifiers straight into map 4 and taking it, and I'm seeing you cheering. What do we got going on?
Look, man, I'm cheering for great competition right now, and you can see Mandelbrick Addiction not only have a priority spawn, but what you guys don't see, or maybe actually you can see it, not on the map view, they're trading some ammo around. They're giving the AWM to Skydie. Mandelbrick Addiction not only got T1 spawn, but they brought the AWM into Space City. Mandelbrick Addiction are trying to close it out right here. They are not leaving anything up to chance. And off screen on the left-hand side of your screen, now on screen, ISG and ESG already in a fight, and ESG on their heels yet again.
Oh,
this is reminiscent to the beginning of Map 1 and Zero Dam, this time on the hands of our MENA team, this time on the hands of ISG.
Oh, things are starting to get serious. And I apologize, it's set 2. That was just a cleanup for ESG. Still 2 players up and around, hopefully staying up. For ISG, though, they want to put the final nail in the coffin. They want to take them down, and I said it. ISG is a roster that needs to desperately claw their way up. They are down over 5 million whenever it comes to technicality to catching up to 3rd place, which is 8. Starting this off, taking down ESG would be tremendous. The mark is in. Mojo goes for the connection, but can't do it just yet.
A big moment for ISG. Taylor, you mentioned it. A lot on the line, and they got a long way to go. Wiping ESG, the top loot value, the top stash value team. You know this gear they're bringing in is going to be extremely solid and extremely valuable. The kills will equal 1.2 mil, but the loot is everything. There's a trade. 2 down for ESG and a full, and no full. ESG is out of this map. All hopes for ESG to join the top of the leaderboard with the Mandelbricks gone at the behest of our MENA team. ISG take down the behemoths from the hometown, Taylor.
Wow.
All of a sudden, things are looking good for Mandelbrick Addiction to try to close this thing out. As we're getting this really expensive loot, I want to draw our eyes, obviously, to the left-hand side of your screen. You can see our operator choices. What you guys don't see is that 3 teams are around the Mandelbrick right now. Now you can see a little bit of an aerial view. Mandelbrick Addiction move towards this brick. Some nice red loot getting picked up by others. Now, a quick look at our operators. It's actually MG that's decided to bring in the one and only Tempest on the map this time around. I'm looking at Mandelbrick Addiction and their comp in this one. Pretty normal. You got a Luna, you got a Toxic, you got a Shepherd, kind of covering their bases, checking all the boxes so they can take their fights accordingly. Gonna have some traps, maybe, to throw out. Sonic traps from Shepherd. Should help with maybe holding this decoding station. But Mandelbrick Addiction.
Look at the aggression.
Fortune favors the bold.
Yes, it does.
Here we go.
And Uvalier is going to go ahead and pick up the Mandelbrick. And they should be free and clear potentially to get out. I do see MG in the area, but no shots have been fired just yet. You let Mandelbrick Addiction get out. This could be crazy. Is there a world where ESG doesn't place top 3?
Absolutely possible. And I want to draw our attention to the left-hand side of your screen. This is not all of the score, but look how much loot they lost.
Yeah.
ESG brought in absolutely stacked kits, just like I was mentioning before. ISG taking those kits, they have jumped to, that's our total leaderboard. 13.1 mil. ISG has leapfrogged way up. ESG brought in about 5, almost 6 million in kit.
AWM and everything else, yeah.
And they lost all of it.
Right. Right. That's crazy. But you know, we set up the narrative a little bit earlier for NBA. Like, that's perfect case scenario. You go in, ESG's now gone, Q9. I mean, they are biting at the bit going into the upper bracket. They have to be ecstatic with this result. Granted, not done just yet. Let's see how it ends up unfolding. For ISG, the narrative for them was they need to elevate themselves up the leaderboard, and it looks like they've been successful in doing so. But the game's not done just yet. It's still very, very close. For Mandelbrick Addiction, though, I mean, seriously, they have been flawless. They're already decoding, and nobody has challenged just yet, but there's plenty of time. But they will be surrounded. This is the thing, though. Can NBA hold on to what they got like they did before?
They did it in game 2. They can do it again. To set the scene, Mandelbrick Addiction, they stole the Mandelbrick immediately planted it in the decoding station that we expected them to. It is the closest decoding station. It is the one that we see the most because it is the easiest to get to. And it's a very interesting one. It's that alleyway we saw in our first Space City map in Group A. The best building to hold this position is the one that SkyD's in. You have a view towards the Mandelbrick. You can't technically see the decoding station from this door, but you can see the tiny little cubby that is in. So anybody trying to make a play for a steal, you will see them on the way in. Mandelbrick Addiction has a very famous clip of them stealing the Mandelbrick. And instead of stealing and running, they just stood there on a decoding station and nobody could see them because they were in the corner. A genius play that actually net them a position at this stage. We'll see if maybe somebody can get some comeuppance. That's a good word for our broadcast today. Flip karma on its head. ISG feeling very comfortable after wiping one of the top teams today, ESG. Now making a play to at least look at this Mandelbrick. It's not going to be a free one like we saw for Fallen in Group A.
It will not be. ISG on your screen, they start to move up. NBA acutely aware, especially with the shock arc starting to move in. Yeah, we have another team also, right? LEG off in the distance. LEG, in my opinion, is a scary one, right? They've shown that they can slay out quite well. Despite them being in 5th place, make no mistake, LEG is a force to be reckoned with.
Juvelier's got an angle to look at the Mandelbrick decoding station as well. But ISG smoke and run, and they get there. They're going to stick it, and I don't think Juvelier saw him. A nice steal and a freebie. ISG actually able to get out as well. Talk about the value of smokes. This is why we see operators that have smokes on Space City. It is so important to plan accordingly. ISG, they may be near the bottom of the leaderboard starting this map, but all of a sudden they have leapfrog near the top and steal the decoding station away. They've got the Mandelbrick technically in possession and decoding for them. And you actually see Wada play a forward position. I doubt these teams know that Wada's here, and they certainly don't know that Wada's got an AWM on the back of ESG. Mandelbrick Addiction peak at the wrong time. They feel like they've got an advantage with the AWM. Wada's about to surprise some folks.
Oh my gosh. But is he is potentially getting flanked, right? No, ISG is going to be just fine. I thought at least MG was going to be moving in on it, but ISG is currently chilling at the moment. But yeah, that AWM could be truly instrumental. I like this off angle, or should be this high ground from Inc. MG slowly crawling around, potentially trying to take the fight to NBA, who might be a bit distracted from ISG. Question is, how do you get in and steal it away from ISG? Because the way they did it was just a masterclass against NBA. And let's face it, the pressure, I mean, really for ISG to hold on to this Mandelbrick is all on them, right? They have to hold on to this because it almost guarantees them going into the upper bracket. Things are a lot slower than you would expect at the moment, but just like our Mandelbrick round number 2, so many teams in this area. Matter of fact, all 5 teams in this area once again. This time around, we have more time to play with, right? 12 minutes in total, and it is going to be HF backing away. Some flames starting to roll in. And Saniva luckily, and it actually baits out. One of the players from Inc. Too Easy is gone.
Yeah, that's a full kill too. Obviously some nice value add, and this could be the last map. But also now it's a 3v2. It was a great incendiary shot around the corner to get one weak. But Saniva is taking the brunt of the blows from Inc. They're going to back off to reload and re-up, but as they do, Inc. doesn't really have an opportunity to grab easy. This is a brutal down for them. Yeah. And they're going to have to lie in wait. And of course, that's an important fight, but it's not nearly as important as what's happening on main stage right now. ISG They actually make it to the decoding station. Juwelier, I think, has sniffed out this plan. He knows this strategy. He pulled it off the regional finals, and there they go, NBA. They sniffed it out. They said, you can't do what we did. We are Mana Brick Addiction, and they wipe ESG almost entirely, and they take back the brick assuredly.
Wow, 3 minutes now, back onto the clock and counting.
Boom.
NBA with the full clear on ISG, who made their way up the standings. They were in top 3, and just like that, NBA snatches it away from them.
Padawan does not beat the master in this instance. Replicating NBA in the regional finals, whether they did it on purpose or not, it does not pay off. Off screen, MG and Ink in a bit of a blender trying to get to this position. There's still plenty of time on the clock because of the steal late. Still 2.5 minutes or a little bit less now because of that MG. Ooh, Boldo with the bounce. Talk about some geometry, man. Gotta get a cleanup on Onigiri. I don't think he'll technically get netted the kill because that player was already knocked by a member of Ink. But even so, it does force MG back, and now they're the ones on their heels trying to figure out, can we even get Onigiri back, as a random grenade we weren't expecting hits him and takes him out.
What you know about geometry, Goj?
Oh, I know a lot about geometry, man.
You couldn't tell me the difference between a rock and a ficus. Now you're trying to tell me you know about geometry? Come on. You're out of your mind. NBA.
God.
NBA, the most improved team by far from the qualifiers into at least day 1 of the Delta Force Invitational, looking to close this out in just 4 maps. The opportunity is well within their grasp. They have all 3 players still alive. They've slayed everyone out. They have had a flawless performance, only losing out. Well, I say losing, they still extracted all 3 members, but they didn't get the highest score when it came to map 3. But they nearly won all 4 maps potentially if they're able to win this. Just 1:15 remaining. So, Goj, what are we looking at? Who is the closest to potentially getting another touch?
That's a great question, frankly. I mean, there's a couple teams in the area. Obviously, we've got 2/3 of Ink still alive. We've got 2/3 of MG still alive. Legit Brazil, frankly, should be the team of 3 that should make a play for this decoding station. They've got to somehow get here without being thwarted by anybody else. It does look like you can see them on your mini-map now. They're going to be skirting through the building to kind of the western side of the facility that NBA is in. They're going to maybe come around the flank. The problem is we're running out of daylight. Can I set the tone for what's happening right now?
30 seconds.
I'm about to be a prophet. There's 30 seconds on the clock for Mana Brick Addiction to win Group B. Not just get a Mana Brick, they will win, and we will not play map 5 or 6 if no one goes for the Mana Brick.
20 seconds.
And no one's making a move for it. Everybody's gonna let this happen thinking they have a top 3 spot? Is that what's happening right now?
10 seconds.
Legit Brazil saying, hey, we'll let them have it. We think we can all extract and potentially be top 3? Is that what's happening
3
right
seconds.
now? They're gonna let Mana Brick Addiction take the win? Mana Brick Addiction have won Group B. No one makes a move. They're all too scared, and they're protecting their loot. ESG is lying in wait, hoping some of these teams don't extract right now. ESG may be outside of the top 3 if Ink and Legit Brazil can get out of this map. Everybody's saying we gotta get out, and Legit Brazil is gonna do it the hard way. They're gonna take down one member of MG and try to take down the second. We see Inix with an angle, take down one. They are trading blows right now, and this is make or break for MG. They will not make it to upper bracket if Inix dies here.
LEG, they got to hold on tight to what they got. Inix is moving in. Rocket connects. No, it doesn't.
Skydie got a knock and a takedown with the AWM from distance. Legit Brazil was in position to potentially get out of the map and potentially be a top 3 team.
They can still do it.
And they got to revive on the knock from NBA, but NBA is not relenting. What a wild circumstance here in Group B.
Oh, they're at 21.3.
And this isn't final numbers. This doesn't calculate kills.
Right.
This isn't everything. And now Inix is trying to keep his
Hold
dreams
on.
alive. NBA is spoiling dreams. Down go Legit Brazil, and likely their chances of being a top 3 team out of this map. MG with 1 player alive, and Ink is saying, well, let's just loot.
They need to dip. They need to leave. Get out of NBA's path at this point.
Ink has 2 up. They
Oh
lost
my
1
gosh.
earlier. AWM in hand. He didn't have to use it around the mana brick. Let's use it now. Let's wipe the lobby. These guys came to play, and they came here to make a statement, and they're doing exactly that.
Envy better keep that head down, dude, because Bulldo's looking to take it off. He already hit a body shot a little bit earlier. I don't think Envy has the goal to stand up. He does. He goes. Bulldo lines it up, misses the first, no worries. At least he made an impact, bit of a point up, and now Bulldo goes in hot pursuit. NBA just celebrating at this moment in time. They're smiling from ear to ear. They understand the position they're currently in. Great
Better
shot.
run.
Uvalier from a distance. Like you said, better run. Envy's in trouble. But Envy does manage to get away, and he can, in fact, extract, which could be big for MG, but I don't know. Inc., they've already separated themselves. Unless NBA plays spoiler to them, it's very possible. There's plenty of time remaining for NBA to hunt Inc. down.
Yeah, I think Inc. right now is trying to figure out, hey, what's the extraction point that we could get out of this map with? I mean, Inc.'s in obviously the best position. If you're looking on the left-hand side of the map, they're in a top 2 position. But if MG doesn't get out, they're out of the equation. Legit Brazil not getting out. ESG's probably in their chairs just cheering. ESG can still be a top 3 team. Now, Envy, I was calling him Enix before. That capital N got me all types of it up Blender. Envy does get out of the map.
Yes.
But look at their total. I don't think it's going to matter necessarily. It's all going to come down to this position right here. ESG maybe in the last couple maps had done enough, regardless of their falters here. And they're probably thanking in their chairs right now, not having basically played this map, thanking Mana Brick Addiction for just slaying the lobby out and keeping them in a T3 position. Inc. now wants to assuredly position themselves in the top 3. They know they have to get out of this map. If both members of Inc. die, if they both go out, there is a chance they could fall not only below ESG, they could maybe fall below legit Brazil. And Mana Brick Addiction is on the hunt.
Yes, they are. I'm astounded by the aggression. I really am. But I respect it. I do. NBA has taken the world, or at least this tournament, by storm. The way that they have played is just incredible. Again, I continue to say it. The most improved team from qualifiers to now, they look like a world championship roster. They really do. They're putting on a better performance than even that of Q9 and Fallen from match A that just occurred a little bit earlier, right? And oh no, you believe
I told you, hey, did I not say in Group A
yes,
that our boss on Space City is relentless? That could be a nice little boon for the side of Inc. With, I believe that was one member, that's Uvalier, getting not only knocked, but also fooled by the boss. That is hilarious. After all of their success, the only people that can kill Mana Brick Addiction is the NPCs on the map. Are you kidding me? All right. Breathe for a second. You can see our extraction timer. The extraction that's underneath the bridge outside of Test Workshop into the south side of our facility in Black Chamber. Barely has enough time for it. So you can extract via around the middle southern part of the map. I love our production showing the free cam of our security director.
That's right.
Up there, piecing this team. Guy's doing trick shots. All right, if you kill security director with a shock arrow, I'll run around this venue. Oh my gosh, I'm about to start sprinting around the venue. He hit that. Look at it. He hit that.
He actually did.
Oh! With the shock arrow, I'm going to do a lap around the venue later.
Skydie said, don't mess with my team, brother. We're taking a victory lap.
That's crazy.
Don't do us like that. Don't do us like that. Well, there it is. I don't think our top 3 changes. I think ESG is pretty well within their rights to stay at the top 3.
Again, though, if Inc. doesn't get out, you never know.
You never know. That's true.
You got to remember how much value they're bringing in. I mean, we saw legit Brazil drop from like 11.8
that is
or
a fact.
12.1 all the way down to 7.1. If Inc. brought in some heavy kits,
yes,
it's not 100% out of the question. And kills aren't calculated.
Well, I guess the biggest thing is ESG should be safe. Then it's a matter of Inc. Right? Is Inc. going to drop down below ESG and then maybe drop below even top 3? Skydie picks up 1.4 million, by the way, which is great. Probably maybe disseminating loot between each other. That's most likely what ended up happening. Either way, they don't need it.
Yeah,
like,
they're
literally
stat padding.
They didn't need to take any fights after getting the Mana Brick. They just said, well, why not? Let's just continue to slay out. Now, interesting thing, though, and we'll be talking about this a little bit later, is, you know, these top 3 teams are immediately going to go straight into the upper bracket. Like, they don't really get it. They get a little bit of a break, maybe about 20 or so minutes, but they're going to go straight into additional gameplay, which excites me because with NBA playing as well as they are, they don't really have time to cool off. They're bringing this energy and the way that they're playing directly into the upper bracket. And again, with Fallen, with NBA now, like, we could have 2 EU teams going directly into the finals, which is nutty.
Yeah, also, Fallen knows NBA the best. They qualified together as EU regional. It'll be fun.
I hope they just don't cannibalize each other.
It'll be fun to watch them battle it out.
Right.
But okay, let's finish this up here. Mana Break Addiction is gonna, again, stat pad. They're getting everybody up. Now, here's the thing. Mana Break Addiction is going for the only extract that anybody can get to. Ink's got to get out as well. Ink knows it. Killzall and Baby B make upper bracket if they get out. If they don't, it's going to come down to, frankly, a lot of math. And there's only 45 seconds, and I think they just spotted, based on what we can see, Ink has spotted Mana Break Addiction there. It is a 2v3. Mana Break Addiction has the position.
And the AWM. It's a long line of sight.
Folks at home, as much as we feel like this tournament is over, and it is for match B here, or at least this position of the tournament, it's not 100% over. Ink doesn't get out here, which is not looking like they will. It'll come down to math. Oh, Killzall is actually able to pick one up with the Alluru guided rocket. That's a big boon for him. Killzall goes down, though, as they trade one out. It's going to be a 1v1, and Vandal Brick Addiction are able to drop the last remaining members of Ink. Holy cow, Mana Brick Addiction were nearly perfect throughout this entire competition, and they don't relent even in the final moments when they've already won. They said nobody is making it out of this map. Not you, not now, not ever. Group B was a banger, but it was mostly a banger because of these guys on your screen for them. Let's take a quick look at it. Here's our top 3, and our in-game leaderboard was correct. Mana Brick Addiction make it out with the most loot by a mile. Both bricks, and they clean sweep Group B. Done in 4 in dominant style, but it is all about the top 3. ESG, I'm gonna be honest, a little bit of luck on their side. To get early wipe in round 4 and still get second does give us a little bit of signal of what they are capable of. They get second, and it's Ink. Although they did not make it out, they had done enough in previous rounds. It came down to that play on Brackish, taking one out of the map. Those 2 guys route manning through, getting kills, getting one out. Easy extracting on Brackish is the reason Ink is in 3rd and not in 4th behind Legit Brazil.
Yeah, Legit Brazil. What a wonderful fight. Great moments, but they fall short, much like MG and ISG. And let's give some flowers to ISG. At one point, they were within top 3. They very well could have knocked down ESG, but unfortunately, they were wiped out a bit too soon. Today, literally right after this, we're talking like maybe 20, 30 minutes, they finish off with 6.77 million, but 7 eliminations.
That's in this round alone, last round.
I don't even know. They at least dropped 20 elims easy.
Oh, dude, it was unbelievable. I mean, here's the thing. When you think about Mana Brick Addiction, where they came from, it was all about the Mana Bricks. They didn't have loot. They didn't really have kills in their regional finals either. It was all about getting the bricks. They were good at that. And then they said, well, we know we're not where we want to be. Let's work on the things we're not as good at.
Sure.
They executed that perfectly.
Yeah.
Most loot by a mile.
Right.
Most kills by a mile. Of course, damage in the last round, it wasn't even close because they were killing everybody.
That's right.
And once they got the Mana Brick and they knew they won, good grief, they just played spoiler. They just said, well, let's just see what happens. Let's be perfect on the day, gentlemen. Let's prep. We are just getting started in this competition. Mana Brick Addiction, they're not necessarily champions. They're not even necessarily a team that will even directly make finals. They got to go top 2 again, but they certainly proved that they absolutely can be. And I think there were some questions around that going into this competition. They're the best team, there's no question about it. 7 kills in the last round. They got the Mana Brick, and they extracted, which is wild, at 6.77. Utter domination.
Utter domination indeed, and obviously the best team, naturally the best team whenever it comes to Match B as a whole. The question is, though, who was the group, or should be round MVP? I think maybe it's got to be Scotty. I don't know. You can make an argument for Jubileer. You can make an argument for Buldo as well. Like, all 3 were shining. It was a team effort. It really was. And just like we were highlighting for Q9 or Fallen, it's like when one player drops the ball, the other one picks it right back up, gets the other teammate on his feet, and they go back full send into the competition. But just so well done. Incredible performance. Buldo will be the MVP.
Another one for him.
It is, and that's going to be 2. Again, a first. I don't think we had 2 in Match A, right? So You talk about actually, I think out of the 4 rounds, what it was NBA getting 3 total
that's right.
MVPs. The only one
Makes
breaking it
sense.
up, and it is Bulldog for the match MVP, which wonderfully done.
Yeah, here's a quick look at some of the stats. Obviously, out of 4 maps, they actually get out of 2 of them. One of which that they didn't get out was the mana brick round. So it doesn't really matter that they didn't get out. They've got the mana brick. He had the best KD. This is Boldo. Best KD on the entire tournament. He had number 2 overall ADC rate. Rush rate was number 3 overall. This is basically the rate at which you run around the map and get kills and are able to engage with the environment. And then overall, the rating for this player was number 3 for our match MVP. So Boldo, and I assume the rest of NBA probably up inside the top 3 as well. One of our best players, if not today, just in Group B, obviously, but also in that